But he's like a perfect example, right? He's not built to be a big power lifter. He's built to be a fucking phenomenal rugby player. Yes, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Rugby Muscle Coaches React video. Last week we reacted to the England rugby complete review of strength and conditioning, or you know, insight into their strength and conditioning that they do and the recovery they do in a game week. This is the All Blacks, and it's a little bit of a different one, obviously because of the players, but also because I think this is just a sneak peek. Let me see what the description is. The All Blacks get into some heavy lifting following their summer break. So that's your context, is that they're getting into some heavy lifting following summer breaks, and this is just a shorter video of the session. So we're going to have to do a lot more interpretation as to what we think this stuff is for and the lessons that we could take away. But they're definitely going to be lessons, and this stuff always gets some intrigue from people, especially that follow Rugby Muscle. So we thought we'd give it a look and a review. Any thoughts on this, Alex, before we even begin?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting the way we're wearing the same clothes as last week.
I'm glad you said that. I mean, it's the same day, mate. That's the thing, okay? All right? It's fine. We're allowed to publish it a week later. So this is, I think this is Laumape.
Yeah, this does. Do you know what's super interesting is, like, the belts are not, they're just like, you know how you go to normal everyday gym? It would just be one of the belts on the ground.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because it's like, when you look at the England boys, right, you've got like the most lush setup of everything that they could ever want ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's got like that like $5 sportsdirect.com if that company still exists belt.
Yeah. Yeah, and like they're all wearing different kit. They just got their own clothes on. They don't have like team stash. Or anything.
I think New Zealand has all Adidas gear no matter what. Also, the top two comments I think I saw on this, the camera work and why is it filmed by someone that doesn't want to get caught filming. Like, there is like what. Like you've seen already with the squats, it's really difficult to judge like what they are lifting. But I think we can sort of gather that this is some sort of testing, whether it's like official testing to see how much they've regressed over the summer break, or if it's if it's testing just to set their numbers for their training blocks or whatever they've got coming up. But this is also like completely different to England.
Several reasons, definitely.
Say again.
Several reasons can definitely squat more than 160. So it's not like a single rep max test.
Okay, yeah. So we can. So I mean, maybe he's still working up. But what I would imagine is, there isn't really a good time to do a single 1 rep max test, like in any rugby environment, because the risk is just too high. You'll watch these 1 rep maxes, and there's a very good chance I don't think you'll see one failed lift, because there is no need to push it that hard. They're just getting base numbers to then either work out the rest of their block or see where their strength's at. Like if you look at 90% in January and then look at what 90% is in March, you've still got good data there. You know what I mean? It's not as perfect as 100%, but it's a million times less risky than 100%.
Yeah, that's still a good weight, man. That's still a fucking strong bench.
I was going to say, they didn't show what that one was. And I also think, wait, was this spotted?
That was one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah. Sausage.
That's all good. Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't spotted. I think he did that all himself.
Yeah.
I meant, like, it looked like it went up really fast after he was struggling forever.
Oh,
it's fucking dodgy camera work.
Days, man. It's so bad.
Triceps probably more applicable
I mean,
to rugby than bench anyway. I mean, than chest
yeah,
anyway.
for sure.
That's a
Yeah.
nice squat. But look at... Oh, what the fuck is that camera?
It's interesting that that is fucking shocking camera work. It's interesting that the technique isn't perfect as well.
Well, that's such an important point to sort of make out here, is that it's cool to watch these guys lift tin, but this isn't their fucking job. Their job is to be the best rugby players, and they need to be strong enough to be the best rugby players, which isn't powerlifter, which we now are exposed to, like every single day. We just slide open Instagram, like you'll be able to see heavier lifts and what these boys can do. I remember when I first watched like this old school, I wonder if we could react to it one day, video with Byron Kelleher and Richie McCaw in the gym. Like, I remember when I first started getting into the gym, this is what I used to watch. It was like my go-to. And the numbers that they were doing were insane to me, like incomprehensible, because I'd never seen other powerlifters, or I'd never seen other people lifting like on a regular basis. Now it's like different, Powerlifting's probably progressed more in the last 10 years than...
To be fair, Byron Kelleher was fucking massive, man.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
But
don't
he
get
looked
me
like
wrong. We'll react to this video another time, but yeah.
Yeah. And he was married to a porn star. I hear.
I did not know that. Decent weights. But yeah, like, it's kind of what we said about the England boys, right? They're not worried. Like, yeah, they want to lift heavy weights, but their 1 rep max isn't as important as setting a decent heavy weight and then figuring out whatever their training block is after that.
Yeah.
This is definitely a public gym, by the way.
Is that what that
Look,
was?
there's definitely just other lads in this gym.
Yeah.
And also, like,
But what
but he's like a perfect example, right? He's not built to be a big power lifter. He's built to be a fucking phenomenal rugby player.
Yeah. And he is a phenomenal rugby player, let's not get it wrong. He's one of the best in the world at what he does.
And that's why but some of the strongest lifts in the gym, like this, I don't think he was lifting any heavier than what we see Aaron Smith lifting here.
Yeah.
But a scrum half
Aaron
is
Smith
built a
will
lot more
throw
to...
a pass.
Sorry?
Aaron Smith can throw a perfect pass, right? Doesn't have to throw a perfect squat.
No, but what I'm saying is, he's lifting the same weight. Maybe not. I thought he was lifting the same weight as Sam Whitelock. And I was going to say, like, it's kind of like he's built more to squat than forwards are anyway. Like, you'll often see scrum halves be some of the stronger boys because it's stronger because they could just squat better. So they can express their strength in a squat better.
And half the distance.
Yeah.
But I admit, I could go in this gym. I can squat almost, what's that, 140? I can squat over twice that weight.
150.
But I am not. I can squat twice that weight.
Yeah.
But I am not half the rugby player that Aaron Smith is, you know? Like,
this is a decent weight.
yeah, that's that 200? 240? 220? 220.
I don't know. Again, cameraman doesn't know what he's filming. I don't know if that was to depth, but again, I'm not a power lifter. It was to good enough depth, and really, I think that's what that session is about. You know, it's just boys lifting heavy. Obviously, you're not getting anywhere near as much of, enough or the same sort of insight from this that you are getting from the England boys, right? But
yeah, this is his budget, though, right?
yeah, I guess so. But it was cool to watch. Like there's no, and if there are, there probably are actually. I was gonna say there's no real weak numbers here, but there probably are because this cameraman just doesn't film them, right?
Yeah,
like,
fair.
and they're not going to publish them. They've probably published like some of their stronger lifts to look cool. So you bear in mind, none of these numbers. I mean, there are some good ones for sure, but none of them are overly remarkable. Like that guy there was just benching 120. I didn't see who it was, but and that's kind of the point. But it's also the point that like they're not trying to do this as best they can. They're just getting some raw numbers. And this is a cool one to put on social media or on YouTube, because it's like all lifts that everyone can relate to. Like you saw in the England one last week, there was a guy doing a banded hex drop jump. You know, that was cool. But how many people were doing that in their local gym? Like no one's doing that. You know, so you know these are obviously your meat and potatoes lifts. So everyone can relate. Everyone can get them done. And also, this is the opposite to England in that England was just refining that top 1% before the week of a game. This is off-season, essentially, or first gym off for a break. Pre-season, maybe.
That scar on his arm, that's a gnarly scar. Do you see that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he wears that's why he used to always wear, I still might wear, wears the bigger arm brace. But these boys are coming in, and maybe it's all Hurricanes players. No, because Aaron Smith's there. Like they're all coming in from different clubs, different locations.
Yeah,
getting some data, and then they're all probably going to go back. Yeah, they're all going to go back to their clubs, do whatever. Like they're all centrally contracted, so their clubs will just say what the New Zealand boys want them to do, and they'll do it. And this is just real. If anything, like this is good for guys to see, because this is. You look at last week's video and there's a lot to understand and take away, but there's not a lot to implement. Whereas this is what most guys' training is going to end up looking like a lot more, like on a regular basis. Maybe not like in terms of like 1 rep maxes, but they're not doing that.
Big lifts, yeah.
Oh well, just and also in a gym. Look, this is definitely like there's chick in the background. It's definitely just some sort of fitness first gym. Like with the weights in the background, but like it's also, again, athleticism is a lot more than just your 1 rep max lifts, and it's also a lot more like this is a lot better. It's a lot more easy to implement because it hasn't got, the speedometer. No, it's not speed. Whatever.
Velocity device.
Yeah, exactly. Any of the velocity devices, any of the fancy data that they're getting in the England squad, these guys are just. Figuring out like heavy weights, and this is their strength work. You could also argue because they're not trying to refine as much; they're just trying to build out and these guys, from their very talented players that they already have, they're just trying to get them that much stronger and long term. So this is a lot more longer term. All right, and speaking of long term, if you are looking for something like that for yourself, even as an amateur player, in fact, it's intended for people that are working full-time jobs. You get to govern your own schedule. You get to have year-round programming delivered directly to you, along with education, so you can make a decision about what you need and be able to tailor the programming around your own schedule, around your own goals, around your own needs of life, etc. I would absolutely suggest Team Rugby Muscle in the links below if you just want an idea of what strength and conditioning sessions should look like for you. Also linked in below. Alex, anything you want to mention before we wrap this video up?
Nope.
All right. See you guys in the next one. Like, thumbs up, please. Really does help out. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one.